in the last couple of years, but how come the roads are just as busy? How does that work? Got from this guy who was the head of road engineering and goodbye. He was an Adventist. He ran a business called the 7-Day Engineering Company, and he was a head of road engineering. He said he said, in order to give people the illusion that the city is doing well. When the population drops, they just cordon off key corridors so they maintain the same levels of congestion, so you don't realize is that there are fewer cars in Dubai. They've just called it off for artificial repairs. So this is a smart city, you might say, deceiving its own inhabitants. Things aren't as bad as you hear on the news by cordoning off roads. So you think that there's just as many people on the road. Then you have energy and environmental initiatives. Cities are now implementing smart grids that use sensors to autonomously balance supply and demand, enabling them to incorporate renewable energy sources as effectively as possible. Isolate outages. So for example, the city of Copenhagen uses smart grid technology to manage wind and solar waste products. I was flying once from Spokane in the morning to go back to Denver on my way back to Chicago. I always seem to get these 5 a.m. flights, but I was flying back from 5 a.m. from Denver to Spokane to Denver, and at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm not really interested in a long conversation. But anyway, I was lucky enough to sit next to the national director of a company that makes 70% of the smart electricity meters. America, and it was a fascinating conversation. He was evangelistic about why we should all get smart meters in our homes, and he was saying that we can track your activity through the day just through your electricity usage. We can predict your electricity usage through the day, he said. We know when you go to church, we know when you go to the gym, we know when you go on vacation, and based on that we can predict and know when you're getting a 911. Smart meters and electricity usage. Well, that was a fascinating conversation. It kept me awake until 5 o'clock, but then we moved on to another topic. So, we discussed exorcising demons, which was a fascinating talk. But anyway, regarding energy and the environment, we now have smart waste management. So Cincinnati